And good Friday morning. It's Ben at 10. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios. Happy Friday, happy Oaks Friday as well. And I think, we're going to see a decent amount of dry time for today. Around that 6 p.m. time frame, kind of right around the Oaks 151 race, we might have kind of a big area of showers and thunderstorms moving into the area. But as we look at it now, there you can see lots of sunshine. As we look live here from New Albany, that's at Market and Vincennes. Some high clouds out there. Definitely still have that moisture in the air, as it has been a bit humid this week with these kind of pesky rain chances as well. There's a look at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation cam. Looks like they might have a little field trip out there looking at the fossils, and a couple boats out there. Good day to be on the water so far, and looks like another guy out there fishing along the banks. So a beautiful start to the day. Our temperatures starting to make their way up through the 60s. We'll be in the 70s here very soon as well. And just a nice start to our Oaks Friday out there right now. So you just kind of watch the camera pan around a little bit across the area. And again, a live look there downtown right now. So again, you're joining Ben at 10. Thanks for tuning in here. I am meteorologist Ben Peine. You can always find me here on my Facebook page. It still says P-I-N-E. That should eventually switch to P-E-I-N-E, which is my real spelling of my last name. Extol weather, as well as a good spot on YouTube where you'll find some more weather information, and also the replay of our Ben at 10. Thank you as well. If you're watching the replay, maybe this afternoon or this evening, hello to you. And please put a comment in there as well. Thanks for liking or subscribing to our Extol Media YouTube channel too. We've got the playlist there that'll also have our live Ben at 10 shows, and also we have our live shows on Extol Media on YouTube and extolmag.com/weather, which we'll take a look at that here in just a second as well. Just taking a look at some of the comments here. We've got Josh Mabe in the house. Happy Oaks to you. And we have Vicky Berger. Good morning there from Salem. On my way to the dentist in New Albany. Won't be able to text because I'm driving. I'm watching and listening though. Thank you always for your support, Vicky. We'll know you're there in the background, even though you got to stay safe. So I appreciate that. Okay. I want to also give a shout out to our local sponsors here. We've got NWSB. They've got a couple of events going on. We also have Lions Roofing. We've got you linked up to their page if you want to learn more information about Lions Roofing at extolmag.com/weather. And again, that weather page has a lot of resources. I use it every day to show you some of the live conditions going on, radar, satellite, a lot of other maps as well. We're going to bring in Wednesdays with Weddington. We'll be talking to Brad Weddington about things around the home and home building, and Ivy Tech Sellersburg as well. Tuesdays at the Tech, I hear, is a day for students, prospective students, future students. My daughter has, I think, over 30 credits already, college credits, thanks to Ivy Tech and dual credit courses and things like that. So, and through Prosser as well. So appreciate Ivy Tech in Sellersburg giving my daughter like probably a year head start. Also today, I think Jason Applegate and myself will be heading over to get some fresh lemonade. It is Lemonade Day from NWSB, Derby Julep Lemonade Day. That is today, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. The Spring Street location, so that's 228 Spring Street, Suite 104 in Jeffersonville. They get spin the Derby wheel, enjoy cookies, lemonade, a special appearance by the NWSB Fun Truck. Also, through May, you can donate your plastic bags of all kinds, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags to help Project Recovery. So thanks all that they're doing there at NWSB around our community. So we had a good time yesterday at the Call to the Post reception at the Galt House. That's where I got this nice Old Forester shirt right here. And so we had a good time out there. Of course, Unbridled Eve is a huge event out at the Galt House this evening. They may even have some tickets still available if you're looking for something fun to do. So let me bring this up, remove that there, and as we like to do, we often have a little show and tell here on our Ben at 10 to start things off before we dig into that forecast in a lot more detail. And again, if you just pop it on, I think it's going to be around 6 p.m., give or take, is when we're going to have a good chance of some showers and thunderstorms moving back into the area. I think a lot of the daytime will be dry, though, so if anybody's heading out to Oaks, sunscreen, stay hydrated. It's going to be very warm out there. Touch breezy southwest winds at around 10 to 20. DJ Zip saying, keep it dry today. They're putting on roof after roof after roof there at Lions Roofing. We'll try to keep it dry for another mostly dry work day there for you, DJ. Beverly Haggis, good morning from Borden, Indiana. I'm going to explain this picture behind us in just a second, too, by the way. Trey Jennings, happy Oaks Day. Hello to Orlean Whitlow. Happy Oaks to you. Gary and Janet Hutchins, thanks for tuning in here this morning. Lots of you popping in on this Friday. Good morning to Judy Tyndall. And Beverly Haggis says, Borden is having the ribbon cutting for the Monon Trail today. That is awesome. I saw them working out there. They've been paving for months. And just the amount of lumber for the steep parts, they've got to put up fencing. And it is quite the project. I can't wait to get out there to run or walk or get the bikes fixed up. We haven't fixed up the bikes and rode the bikes in many, many years. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for the mention there, Beverly Haggis. And again, that Monon Trail, I mean, it's going to be eventually all the way from like New Albany up to Mitchell, Indiana. So really awesome, all the way through Pekin. I think it goes up through Salem, maybe Campbellsburg. And we have a Happy Oaks again from Peggy and also from Jackie Strange. Happy Friday. Yay and Oaks Day. Happy day to you. All right, so this is, and keep the comments coming. Keep the Happy Oaks coming. That is Bob the Bachelor. So we were there, having a drink, having an hors d'oeuvre, and I was like, that guy looks familiar. And he actually is familiar to Oaks and Derby. I think he's been here like the last 20 years in a row. And a good morning here coming in from Marilyn Stewart. Good morning to you. So Penny in the middle, I I talked to her students one time, I think either in Clarksville or Grantline Elementary perhaps. And so we were chatting her up, and then Penny is not shy. I go, Penny, will you go over to that guy and see who this is? And sure enough, Penny brought over Bob the Bachelor. I think he was one of the first seasons, 20 years ago or something like that. A really nice guy, and it was just fun to meet and greet some folks out there at the Galt House. That was in the Archibald room, and they had just bourbon set up everywhere, a wine tastings, and again, some really awesome hors d'oeuvres and appetizers. Thanks to the Galt House for having us out there. And then they're going to have Unbridled Eve, huge gala in the main ballroom for tonight. There's me trying to look cool with Jason Applegate there at the entrance of the Call to the Post reception yesterday evening. There with the Dave Portnoy, I guess he's repping High Noon, the bobblehead guy there. All right. So that was our night yesterday evening. Happy Oaks and happy Derby to all of you friends out there. Now it's time for the Bird Nerd segment. So it is peak. We are heading into peak migration time across the region. And so this is what I recorded on my phone with the Merlin app. So it'll take in the bird sounds, identify them for you. You can click and learn more information, whether it's a rare bird, but we don't usually see this many birds around. So they were loud. And the left side was like 6 o'clock this morning before sunrise. The right side was a little bit later after sunrise. So you hear different birds at different times of the morning, and then a lot of times it'll be a little bit quieter in the afternoon. But the red-eyed vireo is out there. The Carolina wren has been setting up shop in our fern on our back deck. Great crested flycatcher. I think they're kind of around bodies of water in the woods sometimes. Red-bellied woodpecker. The magnolia warbler, which I've never heard of. The good old northern cardinal. He was loud out there today. The eastern wood pewee. The blue-gray gnatcatcher. And the Carolina chickadee, tufted titmouse, and eastern phoebe. That gnatcatcher can keep those bugs away. That's great. So those were all the birds that I saw out there today. And then as we look at the migration map here, I'm going to go ahead and add this on here. So that is a look at the hot map here. Those colors, that yellow colors, that are millions of birds migrating across the area. So that was an estimated 224 million birds migrating in migration across the United States this morning around 5:30 in the morning. So I learned something new every day about this kind of stuff. So just wanted to pass that along to you. And we're going to remove that, add this. So this was just kind of interesting last night. I was on the back deck with my wife after we got back from the reception, and I noticed some cloud tops off in the distance. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. That must be some rain somewhere out there. And it was actually, I looked at the radar on my app. It's got a measuring tool, and those tops from the back of my deck in Borden, Indiana were like 60 miles away. It just shows you how far away, and those weren't even real tall storm tops. Storms can be twice that size easily. You get them up 50, 60,000 feet, and you can see them I've seen from southern Colorado storm chasing storms in Mexico. So you can see them well over 100 miles away sometimes, depending on visibility and the clarity of the air. And we have a good morning from, I think we had Marilyn on there, but another good morning to you, Marilyn Stewart. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Again, just a nice little, and we'll probably see those storms moving in late afternoon as well. So not bad fishing time for today. Cops Lakes there in Clarksville, you can see it off of 265, stocking 1,500 pounds catfish Thursday and Saturday. So Thursday through Sunday, they're open now, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Night fishing begins on May 16th. And Progress Way from Highway 31's closed. Detour using Veterans Parkway now to Sam Gwynn. Turn right onto Progress Way and access around the barricade. And then if you check out their Facebook page, Cops Lake, they give it like a fishing report every day. So today, May 2nd, they're saying peak fishing, obviously in the early morning and towards the evening, 5:48 to 7:48. They got the moon phases there, which apparently affects the fishing. Forecast today up to 80 degrees. So we always start here with, kind of a show and tell, and then we'll give you the forecast off the bat, and then we'll do the deep digging into the weather model data, kind of like your future radar, and then we kind of recap the forecast once again. So heading into the forecast mode here at Ben at 10. Thanks for joining us here at around, we're at about 10:12. So 80 degrees today. Showers and thunderstorms, likely late day, evening time. Again, give or take maybe an hour or two around the 6 p.m. time period is probably when you're going to see some showers and thunderstorms moving through your area, really ramping those rain chances up late today. Lillian Lasley, a good morning to you. Have a beautiful weekend. You as well. Happy Derby weekend to you. So southwest winds at around 10 to 20, our sunset at 8:35. So today, keeping the pollen high before we can get that rain in here. And then with scattered rain still around this weekend, that might keep it at about a low, moderate level of tree and grass pollen across the area. That play ball forecast, my son has a ball game down at South Central today. It's always a good drive down there, south of Elizabeth, Indiana, southern Harrison County. So 80 degrees before that chance of storm. So will they get the ball game in? Good question. Looks like around 6 p.m. or so. The game begins at 5:30. Probably some of our ball games are going to be in jeopardy as the rain chances increase pretty rapidly around 6 p.m. Otherwise, it's going to be warm out there. Southwest winds around 10 to 15 at that time. Oh, I might agree with this comment here, Tim Cron. Good morning, sir. Expecting Extol Media, a.k.a. Jason, to spring for a suite next year at Churchill. What you think? And I think that's a great idea, and I think you might be invited if we make that happen. Always put out those great ideas. Love it. Love it there, Tim. All right, so sunset's now 8:35 in less than a month. We're into those 9 p.m. sunsets, some twilight in June all the way up to around 10 p.m. 59 degrees, that forecast for tonight with evening storms, rain likely at times overnight, variable winds at around 5 to 10, initially from the south and then coming from the north later on tonight. Sunrise at 6:43 tomorrow morning. Unfortunately for your Derby day, it's about 100% chance of rain in the morning. So heading out there as the gates open up, it's poncho time, umbrella time. I don't think you can't bring umbrellas out there, but ponchos. And then I'm hoping for some breaks in the rain. So I did drop the rain chance to like 30% in the afternoon. So not a total washout. Morning kind of washout. I think we get some hours of dry time in the afternoon tomorrow. And generally just temperatures kind of steady in the 60s, a lot of clouds, and those good rain chances for tomorrow. And what's the reason for this? We've got a cut-off upper level low pressure system. So we're talking 15 to 30,000 feet up. That's where you have the jet stream flying over. Typically, the storm systems will move with it, kind of the storm highway. But this energy, this area of low pressure, this counterclockwise flow gets cut off. And when it's cut off from the jet stream, it has no way to move. So it's going to keep some unsettled weather around this weekend, possibly into early next week. So there you can see that kind of donut shape. That is that center of the area of low pressure. So that is pesky. It happens from time to time, and it's just going to keep things unsettled, unfortunately. That's why we've had to really up those rain chances this weekend. So 90% chance of rain tomorrow, 66 for the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby, hoping for some drier time in the afternoon. And then Sunday, about a 40% chance, mostly just kind of spotty light rain showers, lower 60s, upper 50s, low 60s for Sunday and Monday. Upper 40s at night, Sunday, Monday nights, so not down to the 30s, not worried about frost. Isolated shower or two Monday, 30% chance of that, up back around 70. Tuesday, mostly dry. Hoping that cutoff upper level low pressure system starts to move a little bit to the east, and we start to look drier Tuesday, Wednesday. A lot of us are going to need that dry time to mow the yard. My grass is like a foot tall right now. And then we've got some mid 70s or so, maybe an isolated shower popping up from time to time next Thursday, Friday. So weather pattern, unfortunately, a bit unsettled as we head into the weekend. We've talked about this quite a bit over the week, but if you want to get in some of those stats for Oaks and Derby, Oaks today, the hottest ever, 94 back in 1949. The coldest, 38, May 19th back in 1894. Had some later races in the month of May back then. The wettest, 1.4 inches, May 5th, 1961, and about 50% of Oaks days have had rain. Kind of same stats for Derby Day, 94 and 36, the hottest and the coldest. And over 3 inches of rain 7 years ago in 2018. And again, about half of our derbies have some rainfall. All right, there we go. And as we take a look outside, once again, if you're just popping into our Ben at 10 here live, there's a look at some of the traffic there at Vincennes and Market. Those are some low-level, little friendly cumulus clouds up above some high cirrus clouds. It's kind of a milky sky, a little filtered, and that's that high level of moisture that we have in the air there out live right now. So it is that time. We're going to look at some current conditions, and then we'll take a peek at the weather models here for us for today. And head over with me if you want to play along to extolmag.com/weather. This is where you'll find our live stream happening now. If I go ahead and refresh that, we'll probably see my face pop up here. There you go. That's what I was just talking about, right? We got the forecast. You got Lions Roofing popping up. You can always head over there and learn more if you have any roof issues. So there's my 7-day forecast that I post every morning. It always starts the next day. Get your weather story there, the weather maps. The Storm Prediction Center does have mostly Kentucky under a level 2 and 3 on the severe weather risk categories. So a few strong thunderstorms are going to be possible as we head towards evening time, late afternoon at the earliest, it looks like. But a lot of our Oaks Friday today is looking dry. All right, moving on down here. This is one of my favorites as we bring this up full screen. So this is the interactive radar. It's got temperatures across this side of the world, all over the place. Right, it's pretty light winds initially. Southwest winds kick up around 10 to 20 later today. So no rainfall around the area. There you can see the closest showers and thunderstorms with that activity off to our southwest. And that is western Tennessee. They've got some severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, just like me here, you can just click on anything and it pops up so much information. Storm reports, just all kinds of good stuff here. You can back it up, you can loop it, but this is a look at the active weather that will be heading our way late afternoon into the evening time. Right now, that disturbance, that cold front, that's going to be kicking up these showers and thunderstorms, southern Missouri and into Arkansas, western Tennessee for now. So good conditions. I'm saying at least probably through mid-afternoon for Oaks out there for today. Unfortunately, tomorrow, looking at a little bit wetter for us for our Derby Day. All right, that's what's happening now. Let's get over to, and again, I just want to check this camera out one more time. This is the Falls of the Ohio Foundation camera. And you can just go to fallsoftheohio.org/webcam to check that out. And the reason I was just kind of curious because there's a lot of people out there enjoying the nice weather. There's somebody scooting around there and walking, and then you got the airplane flying over the city skyline. You got the Falls of the Ohio there, of course, looking out towards Ashland Park. And as the camera begins to move to the east, it's kind of on an auto pan here. We've got a comment here from Linda Anderson. Good morning. Have a good day, Linda. You as well. Happy Oaks to you. But there were some folks out there fishing, and it looked like there was a school field trip out there as well, if this begins to pan off to the east. Diana Peine, my stepmom. Good morning to you and happy Oaks Day. So last year, my stepmom Diana right there got to walk in the Survivors Parade, diagnosed with breast cancer in 2023. And they really pamper you out there at Churchill Downs in the jockey suites, and just an amazing moment out there. Lifetime memories for all of us. So that was a great time. And again, hope you guys have a good day up there in Indianapolis. Yeah, there's a lot of folks. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, they're checking out the fossils beds and just enjoying some of the weather out there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and now bring up our weather graphics and take a look at the weather model data. So this is a look at the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for today. And this is going to be late afternoon, evening time. Notice east of I-65 in Kentucky, that's the enhanced risk. That's level 3 out of 5. And then a lot of Kentucky elsewhere is under level 2 out of the 5 severe weather risk categories. And then southern Indiana, mainly in the lowest level risk of severe weather. So it would be a very low chance of any severe weather for us today here in southern Indiana. We'll go ahead and bring up the future radar. And we've got it. I'm going to load up the HRRR. And if you watch a lot, you're going to get used to some of these weather model names. And it's actually picking up very well on that activity in western Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas. So we like to see that. We want to see the initialization, the beginning of the weather model data look like what's really happening. So we looked at the interactive radar at extolmag.com/weather. We matched that up with the weather model data, which is a bunch of math problems, millions and millions of math problems. And then we take that math and we make it look like a graphic, an image. So it blows my mind that we can actually do this as humans, be able to model out the future weather. We take it for granted, but it's a pretty amazing thing. So let's go ahead and bring this up full screen. And we're going to look ahead as we head into the afternoon. I'm going to bump this up to 2 p.m. So there, that you can see most of that activity is still out to the west of us at 2 o'clock today. Here we go to 3 o'clock. You can't rule out maybe a pop-up shower out ahead of that main line of showers and thunderstorms, but mostly dry through mid-afternoon. All right, that disturbance out west is taking its time. This is at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then as we get to 6 o'clock, that's when it's starting to really move into our area, southern Indiana and areas west of I-65 in Kentucky. And those darker purple colors, that would indicate some hail possible, some isolated damaging wind gusts we'll need to watch out for. But north of the river, the energy drops off quick. So there could be a pretty quick cutoff in the rain amounts north of the river. The bullseye as far as the chance of strong storms, mainly in Kentucky. Can't rule out a couple crossing the river though. But in general, that's what we're looking at here. All right, so as we move this head to 7 o'clock, there you can see the showers and thunderstorms right on top of us. Some heavy rainfall frequent lightning is going to be possible with this, and some strong wind gusts as this blows through our area. And again, not great timing. Hopefully we can get the Oaks race in before that moves in, because this is at 6 p.m. So it's going to be a close call for that big round of showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon into the evening time especially. So that's 8 p.m. Here is 9 o'clock. So later in the evening time, later on your Friday night, if you got some after Oaks parties, hopefully we start to see that mess move out. This is around 10 o'clock, and we know there's a lot of partying going on an Oaks Friday night. So hopefully we get some drier time here for the festivities tonight, unbridled eve of a big event out at the Galt House. So as we move ahead, this is at 11 p.m. Can't rule out some spotty showers overnight, but what you're not going to like to see is tomorrow morning, probably around 8 a.m. So let me cruise through the overnight. We're sleeping, trying to sleep off that Oaks hangover perhaps. Here's 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock on your Derby morning, and then we go to 8. So gates are opening up out there. It is Derby morning. And there you can see that we have a good chance of some scattered showers across the area. The severe weather threat is very low, not expecting severe weather here for us for your Saturday, but that is 8 a.m. Saturday morning. I'm not sure how big your screen is, whether you're watching on TV, on YouTube, or tablet, or on your phone, but that says 8 a.m. May 3rd in the upper left-hand corner there. Going into the later morning hours, there you still see some scattered showers across the area. And Linda's asking about what about PRP? I mean, you can see it right there. This is basically a 100% chance of rain for all of us, Linda. So this is 11 a.m., pretty wet, maybe kind of washout type of a morning, unfortunately, out at the Derby. So maybe talking about a sloppy track for Derby Day. Not perhaps a total washout. As we head into the afternoon, that main big batch of morning rain starts to slide to the east, and I'm hoping for some dry hours in the afternoon tomorrow. So maybe we get a break. That's around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So now we're heading towards 6 o'clock for the biggest 2 minutes in racing, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby at 6 o'clock. The Her weather model showing a clearing trend. How many times have we seen that as well? As my old Kentucky home plays, the sky clears out, and it starts to look beautiful out there. Maybe that'll be the case tomorrow. After a wet morning, hoping for some improving conditions by tomorrow afternoon. That's the Her. Let's look at the NAM 3-kilometer high-resolution weather model as well. I'm going to back it up to now at 11 a.m. We'll see how well it's picking up on. It's not picking up very well on the activity off to the southwest. It's a little behind. I like the Her weather model better with the initialization. So it's probably going to be a little slower with that activity moving our direction this afternoon. And I've got this paused here if you're keeping track at 2 p.m. So this is showing mostly dry conditions through mid-afternoon. Now we go to 6 o'clock. And it's starting to show that active weather moving in from the west. Going here to 7 o'clock, so it is just a little bit slower as expected than the HRRR weather model. Nonetheless, late afternoon, evening time, we head towards 6 p.m. and later, rain, storm chances ramping up. Also, when I bring this up full screen, kind of take note here, much lighter is the trend in southern Indiana with this rainfall, with the heaviest amounts in Kentucky. So we'll see how that plays out. The farther north of the Ohio River you go, looks like the lighter rain and storm activity that we'll have over southern Indiana for today. So that's that round we just saw. I'm going to bump this real quickly to 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, just to show you both weather models are calling for that wet Saturday morning. So this is 7 a.m. tomorrow, and look at how widespread that rain is. It's just it's going to be kind of comfortable. It'll be in the low 60s tomorrow morning with that rain, but unfortunately have all that rain gear ready. It's looking soggy, saturated, and pretty sloppy out there at Churchill Downs tomorrow morning. So that is at 9 a.m. tomorrow. As we head towards mid-mornings for some of those first races, could be on the wet side. Again, nearly 100% chance of rain tomorrow morning. Will it trend drier in the afternoon, just like the HRRR weather model? We'll go ahead and bump this to around 3 o'clock. And there you can see, this is 3 o'clock tomorrow. We're starting to see that big batch of rain moving to the east. And hopefully we're getting into a little zone of some dry time for tomorrow afternoon. So both of the weather models tomorrow are almost identical, with that washout morning tomorrow and then drier afternoon. That's at 5 p.m. Here's at 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So this would be a good solution, again, for right around race time tomorrow for the Kentucky Derby. Hopefully, again, clearing it out in time for the big race. And then we could have some showers kind of move back in for Derby night, kind of wrapping back in. So as what I mentioned before, this is a stuck upper level low pressure system. So the jet stream goes off to the north, leaves this guy behind. We're talking 15 to 30,000 feet in the air. You've got this swirl up here, counterclockwise. Low pressure systems are counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere, opposite in the southern hemisphere. So this is going to keep us unsettled, meaning scattered rain chances continue Sunday, possibly Monday. What we need is for this to scoot to the east, and we'll try to do that Tuesday. And that would put us on the drier side, the west side of this cutoff upper level low pressure system. The weird thing, though, the weather models are not good late next week because there could be another upper level low pressure system that tries to move our direction from the west. Cut off upper level low that way, cut off kind of a double barrel cut off upper level low pressure systems. Don't see it very often, but it does happen quite a bit when we get towards later spring. May, these things cut off and they can just linger and just be kind of pesky. So that is the situation there. Let me go ahead and bring up, just to give you kind of another visual of this, the GFS weather model, and we can go up to 18,000 feet. That's the 500 millibar level. You got about half the atmosphere up there, 18,000 feet. If you're up that high on a mountain, it's hard to breathe. So I'm going to go ahead and bump this to, let's just say, let's go to May 4th. That'll be Sunday. And there you can see. So these are winds up high level. There you can see 60, 50 mile an hour winds way up there where the planes are flying. And there it is. It just kind of looks like a donut, right? The winds are just swirling up there. And then this guy here out west, as that jet stream dives to the south, these are really strong jet stream winds. This is called a jet streak right here. That red part, that's probably 100 mile an hour winds or near it. That guy could cut off as well. So that's that double barrel cut off upper level low pressure system. And if we expand out our view, I know it's getting pretty nerdy here, but I just want to explain what's going on. As we look at the globe, how cool is that? So look at this. The jet stream is a ribbon of air that flows across the world. And you've got a portion of that dives south, but here's the main jet off to the north, up in Canada. So you get late spring, summer, the jet stream's starting to lift to the north, and again, it left this low pressure behind. And this one could dig into another area of low pressure. So just kind of interesting stuff here. You don't see it too often to see these cutoff lows, but it just brings some kind of nagging, annoying rain chances for quite some time. Kind of hard to do yard work, hard to get in the garden sometimes with a weather pattern like this. Go ahead and put that away there. So that is the setup. That's the weather model data. We can look at the total rain chances here as well. Let me go ahead and bring off the telestration there, and I'm going to keep the GFS weather model loaded up. And if you're just joining us, you're in the weather nerd portion of Ben at 10 when we're looking at the weather models and all this weather model data. And then we'll get back to a recap of the forecast here for you momentarily. But another, if you're just popping in here, live look outside. There's a look at uptown New Albany, they call it here. That's at Market and Vincennes, kind of just east of downtown New Albany. So looking good out there on this Oaks Friday morning. Happy Oaks to you. All right, so we are loading up here on the GFS weather model, the total amount of rainfall. This is through Sunday. So we got a big batch of showers and thunderstorms moving through this evening. We're going to have widespread rain tomorrow morning. We hope it starts to look drier by tomorrow afternoon. So this is showing some 2-inch amounts in many locations. A little lighter farther north you go. So once again, a good soaking rain, unfortunately, on the way, which we don't need. So May is starting off a little bit on the wet side. So we're just clicking some areas. This is your today, tomorrow, into Sunday afternoon rainfall total across the region. Now, those, kind of bullseyes of 2 inches, that might end up being a little farther south. This is not 100% accurate, but it gives you an idea that a good 1 to 2 inches of rainfall will be possible here over the next, say, 48 hours or so. And let me bring that out of full screen mode there. And I think we're done with the weather model data portion of the forecast. Good morning to John Fox over there in the Fern Creek, Okolona area. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Former logistics guy there at, what is it, John? ALP? What? Jeff Boat? Jason? ACBL? Looking wet, John says. Yeah, you got it. That pretty much sums it up. Looking wet. Maybe that's all I had to say, especially for this evening and tomorrow morning. John, thanks for tuning in here this morning. I'm going to go ahead and back up the forecast here, and we will look at it again together. And there we go. There we go. ACBL. Making sure the barges are getting up and down the Ohio and the Mississippi safely. Taking a lot of grain and corn from our area all the way down to Asia, all the way over to Asia. 80 degrees, that high temperature for today. Late day, evening showers and thunderstorms. I'd say 6 p.m. and later, as we start to really ramp up that rain chance. Can't rule out a pop-up shower or storm before that, however. But the most widespread rain around the area and storms after about 6 p.m. is what the timing looks like right now. And we have the allergy report, high levels today. Some of that rain should hold down some of the pollen levels tomorrow and Sunday. I've dropped that to low moderate there for us. So today, 80 degrees, 75 at 6 p.m. If we get in that rain, we're going to drop to the upper 60s, low 70s. My son, again, is playing South Central, and that game is in jeopardy. Hopefully it can hold off if they decide to try to have it today. One of those close calls again. We've had this so many times. 8:35 is our sunset, and we'll get those later 9 p.m. sunsets in late May and into June. 59 is our low for tonight with some evening showers and thunderstorms. Rain likely for tonight. Variable winds will diminish at around 5 to 10 overnight. Some of the wind gusts today, 15, 20 miles per hour this afternoon, ahead of that line of storms. So tomorrow's forecast, 8 a.m., 90. We could just slap 100% chance of rain basically for tomorrow morning in the 60s. And then we're hoping to trend drier by tomorrow afternoon into the evening time as we gear up for the Kentucky Derby. So I've dropped that to about a 30% chance in the afternoon. So really crossing my fingers that we'll have some dry hours tomorrow afternoon. And that's that cut off upper level low I was discussing, sitting over the area and giving us numerous rain chances over the next several days. Our temperatures do cool off. So we've been kind of used to the humidity in the air in these upper 70s, low 80s. We're going to drop that to the low 60s, more than 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year. Your normal high, your normal low, left side, bottom left corner of your 7-day there. Sunrises, sunsets, bottom right. But upper 50s, low 60s. Might be back to, long sleeves jacket weather for Sunday, Monday, with some occasional, mostly light rain showers there with that cutoff upper level low pressure system over the area. Hoping that starts to move to the east Tuesday. So I've dropped it to just an isolated shower chance. Hoping for drier time to get out in the yard and do some work. 70 Tuesday, mid 70s next Wednesday, Thursday, And we're going to have to wait and see if another upper level low pressure system from the west begins to impact our area next week. Just zooming through some pics here. And again, I want to thank the Galt House. They had the call to the post reception yesterday. We got to meet Bob the Bachelor from one of the first season or two of The Bachelorette, Bachelor. Maybe you remember him if you're a fan. There's Jason Applegate and myself trying to look all snazzy out there, and a look at all the different birds. We had our Bird Nerd segment earlier this morning, and it is peak migration. So in the morning time, different times in the morning, we're seeing different bird species out there. Red-eyed vireo, you don't hear very often. The great crested flycatcher, the magnolia warbler, and the eastern wood pewee, blue-gray gnatcatcher, and the eastern phoebe are some birds that we don't typically hear that often around our area. And that was some storms off in the distance yesterday. This is something you might see today, is why I bring this up. As the storms approach our area, take a look at the western sky later this afternoon. You might start to see the storm tops, which could be up around 50,000 feet up in the air. And then from your eyesight to the top of those storms, you can see, this was off of my back deck yesterday in Borden looking to the northwest. So that line of storms at the same time was up towards Bloomington, where I was looking at the top of those storms. And those weren't even very big storms. Those were maybe up around 30,000 feet, just enough to produce a few lightning strikes. Typically, you need the storm tops to get up about 25,000 feet to start make ice crystals that interact with the raindrops, and it starts to produce that electrical charge. That's about 25,000 feet. And then above 25,000 feet, the storms get stronger and stronger the higher they go up. So again, not big storms, but you can still see those around 60 miles away. So just kind of cool to check out there. Cops Lakes is opening up now Thursday through Saturday, 6 to 10 p.m., 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. They're saying the early morning fishing, the evening fishing is looking good there, and they are stocking it. They said 1,500 pounds of catfish Thursday and Saturday. Cool to check out those videos at their Facebook page if you go to Cops Lake, where they're dumping in just hundreds of those catfish and giving you some fishing tips there as well. So you can check that out. And there you go. We're back to the forecast with 80 degrees for today. And before we leave you, thanks for the comments too. If you're doing a rewatch, a replay of this in the afternoon, please still give us that comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate it. We want this show to go everywhere throughout southern Indiana. And we'll be taking this show on the road from time to time, live at different towns, locations, different events. So stay tuned for more fun on Ben at 10 and from the Extol Media Studios. So again, a thanks to NWSB. They have their lemonade stand today, a Derby Julep Lemonade Day from 11 a.m. here shortly to 3 p.m. That's in Jeffersonville. Stop by and get a refreshment there for free. That's at 228 Spring Street, Suite 104 there. And spin the Derby wheel, enjoy cookies and lemonade. Special appearance there by the NWSB Fun Truck. And they want your bags at any location. Any NWSB location, plastic bags, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags. It's for Project Recovery. So we appreciate your help there. Appreciate them helping out the community. Lions Roofing, they're very, very busy. But if you need some help with your roof, give them a shout. We've got you linked up at xtolmag.com/weather. You can just click on that big square that says Lions Roofing. It'll take you right to their site and to their contacts. And we're going to have some Wednesdays with Weddington tips around the home building. And we're going to be talking more and more about Ivy Tech. Sellersburg, what they have to offer. Again, my daughter has already had over 30 college credits. So she'll have like a full year of schooling in before she graduates high school. So off to a head start. So a lot of times students will graduate high school and only need to go 2 or 3 years for the undergraduate, thanks to all the offerings there at Ivy Tech. And they'll have Tuesdays at the Tech that we'll be talking about over the next couple of weeks. Might be setting up shop there in Sellersburg and do some live shows out there as well on their campus. So stay tuned for some of that too. Again, thank you guys for tuning in and giving us some comments. Like and share, we appreciate that. Hit the subscribe on Extol Media, and we've got a playlist there. That's where you can bring up Ben at 10 on the full screen on any television there on YouTube. Most smart TVs these days have that YouTube app. And that's where you can see a lot of times just the weather maps that we show on here, the live radar. You can just see that in a much bigger form there. Beverly Haggis might have the last comment here with, my dog Butch is listening. Hey Butch, good morning there. And happy Oaks, happy Friday to you. I hope you have a great and safe Derby weekend. Definitely keep the rain gear handy. Rain moving in this evening in storms, rain tomorrow. Hoping for a little drier time by tomorrow afternoon. And Amanda, thanks for tuning in here. A nice Oaks for the most part. We're going to have to watch out for that rain late this afternoon into the evening time. So again, happy Derby weekend to you guys, and we will see you Monday, Ben at 10 right here. We also have Extol Unfiltered at 9 a.m. with Angie Fenton, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Please join in and join the conversation live. Watching the replay, thanks for watching as well there. Also leave the comment too if you're watching that replay. It's May 2nd. It's May 2nd, 2025. This has been Ben at 10, and we'll see you same time on Monday.